Congressman, we just had a roundtable with you with some of our stakeholders from the Western Pennsylvania business community. One of the issues that's been critical on our federal agenda, you've been a leader on it, and that is the Upper Ohio River navigation system, the Emsworth, Montgomery, Dash Shield, Lock and Dam system, critical for our economic development and growth in Western Pennsylvania and our quality of life. And as I said, you've been a leader on it. Tell us a little bit about where that stands now and any efforts that might happen over the next couple of months to get it done.
Yeah, great. We're making a lot of progress with the Army Corps study on the feasibility and what these locks and dams mean to the region. Everybody who lives in our region understands the importance of our rivers and the history that's on those rivers. These were literally the first interstate highways, and the cargo that continues to go up and down these rivers requires this infrastructure. And we have 3 sets of locks and dams on the Upper Ohio, Montgomery, Dash Shields, Emsworth, that are in desperate need of repair. And this has been going on for a long time. The Army Corps has been doing a study for 13 years at a cost of $17 million. We've been frustrated with the lack of progress on it. Well, they finally have been moving ahead. We expect the final report to be completed and signed off by the Army Corps sometime in September, which means we can put it in for the next Water Resources Development Act bill, which would authorize spending for these locks and dams. And once it's authorized, then we have to fight over the funding, but the authorization piece is a critical component.
That's wonderful news, and just talk a little bit about why it's so critical from an economic development standpoint. You mentioned your waterways in many cases were our first interstate highway system. Why is it so critical to Western Pennsylvania's growth?
You take a look at the Shell plant out in Beaver County. The Shell is planning on using the river to transport a tremendous amount of materials up for the construction of that plant. We have cargo going up and down, whether it's coal, chemicals, so many things are shipped down these rivers. And it's a vital transportation link to trading across this country. There's alternatives. You can do trucks, you can do rail, but you look at the volume that can go into these barges, and it's remarkable how many truckloads that you can put into a barge. That means you don't have those trucks on the highways. So again, it's critical link in our infrastructure system, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that we're going to be taking care of it.
That's great. And as folks watch our interview, is there anything that they can do, your leaders in the Western Pennsylvania business community, to make their voice heard around this issue with members of Congress? What actionable items can we do on our end?
We've had really good support across the delegation from Pennsylvania on this issue. I would encourage anybody who has links with other jurisdictions, if you have a business that does business in Ohio or Kentucky or Illinois, anywhere along that river system, up the Mississippi, up the Missouri, the criticality of water infrastructure has to be stressed. So all the way down to Louisiana, even along the coast, we have shipments that come from Texas up to Louisiana and then up the rivers. So this is a national network, and to the extent that people have contacts across the country, to be able to let them know that they should be reaching out to their members of Congress and stress the criticality of our water infrastructure.
Yeah, and we've seen it here, sitting here, looking out the window at all 3 of our rivers. You see the coal barges move up and down the system, and I would imagine if one of the locks and dams or multiple points of entry for the locks and dams fails on that system, it really throws everything off, right?
We talk a lot about manufacturing. I had a visit yesterday with the Clairton Coke Works, and there was a barge right in there that was scooping up coal for processing in the coke plant. We talk about the importance of steel making in this country. You create wealth when you have that kind of manufacturing. And you look at the environmental investment that U.S. Steel has put in, over $1 billion since I think 2007, 2008, to make sure that plant is in compliance. This is a remarkable success story of what we have in Western Pennsylvania, and the way that we have responsible corporate citizens who are doing the work to make sure they're doing things in accordance with the law, and to have an infrastructure system like our locks and dams. Thousands of jobs depend on this river system. And so we're going to keep fighting to make sure that they're taken care of.
Thank you, and we'll keep pushing it to the greatest extent possible on our end, but really just want to thank you for your leadership on this issue. It's one of the most critical issues that this region will face at the federal level over the next 6 months, and you've been right at the forefront, so thank you very
Okay.
much.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you, Matt.